We're all in this together, and we will tell them about what we did to fight for the soul of America. Thank you.
All right, and tonight we're going to talk about what we're going to do, because what you've done these last 4 years, if you brought it, we had the blue wave across Virginia, and we're going to bring it across the country. So this is truly, you know, what you have done and what we're going to do. So good for everybody in the room. And I'm glad we have our coalition leaders here. I think Luisa's in the room too. Luisa Borowski, just give yourself a wave. Thank you for getting in the room too. We'll hear from you later. So let's just get, oh, I know what we want to do too. Sorry, is to make sure we have a game. We're going to make sure, well, before the representatives talk, we're going to do bingo. So if we can show the bingo card real quick, and you've been emailed your bingo card. Do you want to put that up? The bingo card, and what we're going to do while we're speaking and having a conversation, we want you guys to play the bingo, and you're going to check off if you've driven the vote, if you've made phone calls, you texted. So you guys can play that game, and it's the honor system. And if you get a bingo, you just call it out in the chat, and you will win the pink grab them by the ballot panties. So that we'll show you the bingo card in a bit. But I think what we're doing is we're losing Robin. So, so that's what probably happened. So let's just get started. Stare, if you can spotlight Jerry. And I'm so excited you're here. Representative, my representative from CD11, welcome. Thank you for kicking things off tonight. You've been working really hard up on the Hill. So why don't you just get this rally started for us?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much. And I'm looking, Catherine, at your t-shirt that says badass woman. Get things done.
That's right.
And you know, maybe that's our theme tonight. And I'm not, I mean, this really is an insight that it makes these last 4 years so different in American politics. You know, we just celebrated the anniversary of women's right to vote. But when women first cast that vote in 1920, they didn't make much of a difference. They elected Warren G. Harding. They basically kind of followed whatever their spouse was doing. And that pattern kind of held for a long time, but no longer. Women are leading what's going to happen on November 3rd. And they've been doing it since the Women's March, the day after the inauguration. I was there and the energy was unbelievable. I thought I was gonna go to something that was kind of funereal and mourning what we'd lost with Hillary Clinton's loss. And instead it was exuberant. It was like a celebration. We were determined to make a difference and not allow Donald Trump to prevail, whatever it took. And people went home and got organized. And you're living proof of it. And has that made a difference? If you look at the election cycle since his inauguration, we've been winning elections all over the place where we didn't expect to, or didn't expect to do as well. Look at what happened here in Virginia in 2017. Ed Gillespie, the Republican nominee for governor in 2017, got the largest number of votes any Republican has ever gotten in the history of Virginia for governor. Win or lose. We just did 9 points better. And instead of winning 5 seats in the General Assembly, we won 15. We would have actually tied the General Assembly, but for a coin toss, we lost. And then and that kind of told you what was going to happen in the midterms. We were like the canary in the coal mine. And so the next year, despite gerrymandering, despite, you know, problems with money and everything else, that enthusiasm led by women elected more women, including my good friend Jennifer Wexton, than any Congress has ever elected, and more diversity than any Congress has ever experienced. And we won seats that we were not expecting to win in places like Kansas and Oklahoma and South Carolina and Utah. It told you something about the power of a determined group of people led by women to make change in America, to insist on it and to back it up with organizing power. There is power in being organized. You know, a great woman, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House loves to say, don't agonize, organize. And God knows the Women's Summit is living proof of that motto and the power of that. So when I look at what is likely to happen in 10 days, and remember, this power has already driven 50 million people plus to the polls. They've already voted. You know, I think we're headed for a decisive election. And again, it's going to be, frankly, the organizing power of women in America, suburban women especially. They are making all the difference. States that Trump won 4 years ago, he's going to lose in this election, led by women who are absolutely rejecting his value system and the damage and destruction he's wreaked on our democracy, our society, the role model he provides for our children and families. You know, if you saw the debate last night, you heard the outrage from Joe Biden about the fact that over 500 kids have been separated from their families at the border, and we can't find their parents.
I know, it's awful.
And Donald Trump decided that the right answer was they're getting wonderful care.
That was awful. It was like the worst moment ever.
Yeah. So thank you for what you're doing. It really is making a difference, a huge difference. And I think we're going to be celebrating a big change in America once we know all the results of the November 3rd election. God bless y'all so much for doing this. And thank you for having me here tonight.
Right. Well, I'm happy we're just thrilled you can come. I mean, right now, a lot of people on this call are part of this is the Virginia Grassroots Coalition. So there's a ton of groups in here, you know, Herndon, Reston, Indivisible. We have, you know, WOFA, We Have Action. There's a ton of indivisibles. This is a community and a coalition, and you're right, led by women. And of course, we have men in the coalition and that, but this coalition, we moved from that smaller movements to a bigger movement. And that's what made us even more powerful. So that's what we want to continue on that train, continue that momentum, and get us just keep on going and holding on tight, because we can't stop, right?
And thanks for playing my music from the 60s.
Oh, we picked that for you because we figured you would know that song, Jerry. No, we really appreciate you being here, and it's awesome. So we're going to just hand it over to your favorite, as we call it, our goddess, our queen, Jennifer Wexton, Congresswoman, who is going to kick up some dirt out in Loudoun. How are you, friend? Great to see you.
I'm wonderful, and I'm wearing my vintage "When We Vote, We Win" Wexton 10 shirt, which has brought me great good luck ever since I received it from you guys. So thank you so much. I couldn't be happier to be here with Network Nova. I got to tell you that in 2017, when I went to the very first Women's Summit that you guys held at the National Conference Center in my district in Loudoun, I was so amazed and impressed by all of the great energy and the hundreds of women who came from all around the Commonwealth and the region to come together and come up with good, creative ways to organize at a grassroots level and do something, you know, not to just complain or be sad, but to actually do something. And that yielded amazing results. Now, you may recall that Donald Trump during 2016 said, you know, you're going to be so sick of winning. We're going to win so much, you're going to be sick of winning, right? And in 2017, we won, right? We flipped 15 seats in the House of Delegates, 11 of which were won by women, I might add. And as a result, we were able to pass Medicaid expansion in Virginia. And now over 400,000 people have health care who didn't just a few years ago. And thank goodness they do, because with COVID, it's been a lifeline for many, many Virginians. But that wasn't enough. So then in 2018, we won again, right? We flipped 3 seats in the House of Representatives. All 3 won by women, I might add. We elected 3 goddesses to the House of Representatives. Right. Me, Abigail Spanberger, and Elaine Luria. What an amazing upgrade, I must say so myself. I think Jerry would agree that we had a big upgrade. But that wasn't enough, because we still weren't sick of winning in Virginia. So we flipped both houses of the General Assembly in 2019. And because of that, we have great things like Like now we can actually early vote, 45 days of early voting. Virginia has gone from being one of the most restrictive on voting rights states to one of the most permissive, one of the most encouraging for people to vote early. And thank goodness, just in time.
No.
That's one of the many things that they voted for.
I agree. And that is like the biggest change that we're proud of being in Virginia, is that we can vote Republican, Democrat, I don't care who you are. We don't have that worry about maybe just now voter intimidation and just nonsense. But thankfully, truthfully, how great is that we can vote, and that every state should have the same freedom, right?
Absolutely. It should be easier to vote, not harder. And thank goodness we got it now. But the early voting numbers are amazing. They're super encouraging. In my district alone, over 177,000 people have already voted. But guys, do not get complacent, because that doesn't tell us anything other than a lot of people have voted early, right? We don't know what's going to happen between now and election day. We don't know what's going to happen on election day. So we need to turn out every single vote that we can. And that's where you guys come in, because we all remember how we felt on election night 2016. We all remember how we felt when we woke up the next morning. I personally never, ever, ever want to feel like that again. And, you know, I mean, I ran for Congress because I saw our democracy hanging by a thread. And I truly believe that it is. I do not think that our democracy can survive 4 more years of Donald Trump, because it is all on the ballot this year. Healthcare is on the ballot. Gun violence prevention is on the ballot. The environment and climate change are on the ballot. Equality for our LGBTQ friends and neighbors is on the ballot. Every single racial justice is on the ballot. Criminal justice reform is on the ballot. You name it, it is all on the ballot this year. So we need to leave it all in the field. We need to get out every single vote. And you guys are uniquely qualified to do that because you've been doing it. You've got the proven way to do it. Another thing that's encouraging to me is that there's a lot of people who maybe voted in 2012, but sat out in 2016, who are turning out and voting. So we need to ensure that we're getting those folks as well, that they understand just how big the stakes are and how important this election is. Because it is not enough just to win. We need to crush. We need to absolutely stomp Donald Trump in Virginia so they never ever come back again. I think we need to make sure that we reelect me, Abigail, and Elaine. We need to flip some seats, as we'll be able to do in the 5th and the 1st, hopefully, and maybe even the 6th. And then we need to reelect Mark Warner and send Joe and Kamala to the White House and have a resounding success, such that there is no question on election night who won the Commonwealth of Virginia. But thank you guys so much for everything you've done. You inspire me. You're the wind beneath my wings. It has been fantastic, and I'm not sick of winning yet, so let's go win.
No, I'm never sick of winning. I told Robin, when I run a race, I want to win. I'm going to win. I don't enter a race not to win, being a runner, right? So I hear you loud and clear. Let's see the back of your shirt. Do you have your CD? Can we see your name back there? Or?
Okay, but you're going to see my hang on. You're going to see my ring light, which I need.
Oh, you got your ring light behind you. All right, let's see. Oh, there it is, your Wexton shirt. Look at that. Woo, all right, excellent. And I know Loudoun County, Barbara Jones, I see you in the room. I see a lot of people winning bingo. Just one, hey, Barbara. Barbara is bringing it out there in Loudoun, and we're gonna be there tomorrow marching to the polls with Pastor Michelle. So maybe
I'll see you there.
I'll see you out there. So tell us about, just real quickly before we move on, what actions are going on out there, people that you know about that you'll be doing the next 10 days? And I'm going to ask Jerry real quick too, the next 10 days.
Well, I'm definitely going, I'm going to go with the NAACP tomorrow. And then we're starting coordinated lit drops. So starting on Sunday, there'll be kickoffs for those. We're going to do a safe, socially distanced lit drops instead of canvassing. It's like a canvassing in a time of COVID. So you can check with the coordinated or my campaign if you're interested in doing that. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend, so probably a very good time to do it if you want to get out. If you feel like itchy because you haven't been knocking on doors this cycle, we can have you do that. And I think my campaign managers just dropped a link in the chat, jenniferwexton.com/events.
I saw that. I actually saw that email go out. So I love that they're doing now the literature drop, that people can do it, because I think people will do it. Jerry, is anybody doing that around in our district in 11, the lit drops, or what's going on?
There are some lit drops being done, and we're some of it's volunteer activity, some of it is targeting infrequent voters that we think, like you said, people who voted in 2012 but didn't vote in 2016. I'm doing a coordinated campaign event tomorrow. I'm also doing an event with Virginia Democratic teams to try to, engage them in terms of volunteerism and so forth.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of stuff scheduled and unscheduled, frankly, in this next week. Can I just say one thing, Catherine, to build on what Jennifer was saying? We're spending a lot of our efforts right now correctly to encourage people. Our message is vote early, but vote. We need to start to get ready for a different message come November 3rd, which is be patient, but count every vote. We don't care how long it takes. We want every vote counted, because you can count on Donald Trump saying he won a lot of these states with the day of voting, because that's going to be disproportionately Republican, because Democrats in mass are voting early. So if he can succeed in discounting those early votes by challenging them or discrediting them, he is going to be able to establish from his point of view, the illegitimacy of the ultimate results. And that's why we have to get ahead of that in messaging. And so we need to start to prepare our supporters, our rank and file, for count every vote.
Yes, I agree. And we know that's a big issue. So that's a really great message. And with that, if we can, Robin, could we go over to see Mark Warner for a minute? Mark was busy making a tuna sandwich, so he couldn't come tonight. So we have our little ongoing tuna sandwich joke with Mark, but he did send us a video. Can you play that, Robin?
Before we do that, maybe we need a little dancing minute. So let's do a little dancing with Kamala here.
Girls, I hear you've been running from the beautiful queen that you can be becoming. You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see it overcoming. Just because the length of your hair ain't long, and they often criticize you for your skin. Girls, I hear you've been running from the beautiful queen that you can be becoming. You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see it overcoming. Just because the length of your hair ain't long, and they often criticize you for your skin.
All right, let's go to Mark Warner.
Jennifer, I just want you to know that song was for you.
This is Senator Mark Warner. And first, I just want to say congratulations for all the great work that you have done over the last couple of election cycles. I wish I could be with you today in person as you do this early vote rally. But as you know, and I know, this is the most important election of our lifetime.
My guess is Robin lost power again.
Or that was really a great place to end the video.
That I do have the video though, but can we just remove the spotlight? Hold on, I'm gonna do it. All right. Okay. So anyways, sorry everybody. Can you still see the video? Okay, I keep seeing it. Okay, so anyways, let's move on from Mark. We may be able to show it again later because he did send that in to us. It's interesting. Robin has never had power issues, but like we say, as activists and organizers, shit happens. Get over it and let's keep the train moving. So with that said, Nick Betts, you're in the room. Nick, how are you doing? Nick, you're in CD 6.
Yes.
And running a campaign out there in the deeper part of Virginia. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Up again and tell us how your campaign's going and what calls to action you have for us.
Doing well, working hard out here. We're up on TV and radio now, got billboards and signs throughout the district, and we're working hard, doing news interviews, whether it's newspaper, radio, television, almost no days off. I think I've had maybe I get one every couple months, but, just working hard to reach out to folks and listen to what their needs are. going across 6th District, I hear broadband infrastructure is one of the key issues. And I want to make sure that we get that done. And because I really think that the internet is the highways of the 21st century. So much is done over the internet, whether it's, civic engagement like this, whether it's education for kids or for adults, whether it's telemedicine or whether it's business, commerce. I really think we need to get this done and get broadband expand out here in the 6th District and across the United States of America. I'm fighting for clean, green, renewable energy source jobs to give businesses the economic incentives to hire more workers, and engage in research and development in those fields for wind and solar technology, for affordable, accessible healthcare. We heard Vice President Biden talk about a public option. I think we really do need a public option to get folks health insurance. I think that's key. And, to have affordable, accessible higher education. One thing that I really want to do is make those 0% interest rates on student loans permanent, because I don't think the federal government should be profiting off of people seeking to educate themselves. And, we're working hard. We got folks phone banking, I'm making calls, I'm talking to folks. And, I think my campaign manager, Nick Reuter, was going to, we're doing like a quick refresher train. If anybody wants to help out, it's going to be full steam ahead from here on out. And the last time Democrats took, the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, the last time, 2008, we passed the Affordable Care Act. And I think we can expand on, healthcare this time, and as well as the other things I mentioned, if we see that blue wave, if we elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to serve as president and vice president, if we reelect Mark Warner and send him back to the Senate, and if we get, expand on our House of Delegates, expand on our House of Representatives delegation, I think we'll be doing great things. So, we're fighting hard. We're talking to folks. We're listening. And, it's going to be full steam ahead. I'm doing a couple virtual events, coming up here. I got in-person Get Out the Vote in Rockingham County tomorrow. So, just keeping it up and talking to some, got a request to talk to some student athletes over at JMU coming up here. So, just working hard, and every day a day we're trying to move forward and get folks out to vote, and, flip the 6th, the 1st, and the 5th, seats that we have, and, reelect Mark Warner and send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House.
No, that's great. I'm glad that things are going well. I think one of our best fundraisers we had this year was raising money for your race. That was really a proud moment to see the love that they showed you out there. So I'm so glad you're able to come tonight and share what you're doing. And I saw Nick, your campaign guy, said that the training's right after this at 8 o'clock. If he has the link or info to put in there in the chat for people to join you, and whatever else they can do to help your campaign in the last 10 days, baby, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. And we appreciate everything y'all have done very much. And, put that money to good use on TV, radio, and billboards and signs. So we're fighting hard to the end.
Thank you. Well, good. So stay in the room. If you have time, we'd love to, maybe at the end, we'll say a few things again, but thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it, Mr. Betts. And I know that Ben Young is here to represent, if we could spotlight Ben. Hi, Ben, you're here for Cameron Webb.
Yep. Hey, everyone. Ben Young here, Cameron Webb's campaign manager. Super excited to be here. Cameron was a little upset he could not make it today, but wanted to give you guys the inside scoop on our race. So we just got a poll back publicly today that showed us up 46-43 in the 5th, which is amazing. I think if you told me in January when I got on this race that we'd be up 3 points with 11 days to go, I wouldn't have believed it. We are running our TV ads. We are in the mailboxes. We are in everyone's digital feed. Our field team has made over 1 million phone calls. They have sent over 250,000 postcards. We are doing contactless canvassing, and our GOTV plan is to make 1.5 million phone calls across the district to make sure every last voter turns out. This is a race where at the end of the day, we could win by 5,000, we could win by 5. So what I need from everyone on this call is I'm going to send a link with our Mobilize and with our Act Blue. If you can give your time, if you can give your money, it will go a long way into helping us flip this seat and actually having representation here in the 5th.
Nice. No, we're excited. You know, was just a bit disappointed that he couldn't show up, but tell him we'll give him a break this time because we want him to
Absolutely.
win. It's all about winning. Wherever he is, it's important because he needs to be getting out there, getting in front of people. So we totally get it. So we really appreciate everything you're doing there in the 5. And I think this is the race, I think, between Kazim and Webb and Betts. These are our 3 runners that we never give up on. That's one thing the coalition has done since the beginning, is that we don't listen to anybody. We do what we support the candidates that step up to run, in the sense we don't listen. Sometimes the party will say, well, only 3 could win. We're like, well, we don't care. If you step up to run, we're going to support you.
What part of Virginia is Cameron from? Will he represent?
So Cameron's from Charlottesville, so we're in the 5th. So we go all the way up to Fauquier County, all the way down to Danville. So we have a district that's bigger than the state of New Jersey in square mileage.
Wow.
So we've been doing our tour to 5th we'll be doing the tour to 5th the rest of the campaign. So tomorrow we're in Mecklenburg, Lunenburg, Brunswick counties. Over the next few days, we're going to be back in Mecklenburg. We'll be in Charlotte. Then we'll be down to Danville, Henry, Pittsylvania, and Halifax to finish up. We are everywhere we can be to make sure we squeeze every last vote out of this district.
I love it. Squeeze it out. All right. Thank you so much for coming in the room. And I'm going to hand it over to Robin real quick to welcome Kazim in the room. If you can give him a lovely welcome. Robin, you want to try it?
I don't think so. My power has gone out 6 times since we've gone on, so I don't trust it at the moment.
Okay.
You want me to try?
Let's try it. And then if I lose you, then you can come back. But yeah, let's welcome, if you can.
All right, okay, we'll see.
Okay, this is for you, Kazim. I love getting fired up. That Kamala just gets me fired up with those great shoes. So how are you?
That's wonderful. Thank you for the wonderful welcome. I'm wonderful. I can see so many amazing, bright, smiling faces on my screen, and I'm fired up. Our team is fired up. We are on the cusp of making history, and the feedback and the support we're getting is overwhelming. And I don't just mean from folks who have been our long-term supporters. We're extraordinarily grateful for them, but we're getting incredible support from folks who are identifying as lifelong Republicans. Just yesterday, I got a call from a gentleman who said he's a retired Marine, lifelong Republican, voted Trump, voted for my opponent, and this year he's done. And not only is he voting for me, but he's volunteering for us and making phone calls for us. And these are happening throughout the district. As you guys know, you've seen the polling, you've seen the early voting. We have a strong lead right now. And it's just a matter of making sure that we don't just play to not lose, but we play to win. And so we keep our foot on the gas and keep going after it. You know, on the issues, there's no comparison. Folks understand that we have the right view on the issues. It really just is a matter of getting our message out there. So we're deeply grateful for everything that y'all have done, because it's with your support that we got here in the first place. And our ask is in these last 11 days, if you can contribute. If you can volunteer and make phone calls for us, please do so. We've got a phenomenal GOTV plan that's going to help us get across the finish line. So thank you for everything you've done. And if you're free after this, we have a game night with Lamorne Morris and Jay Lewis. We're going to be playing Celebrity. It's kind of like a charades type thing online. Hop on over to our Facebook page. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That sounds great, because we love games and we like to do door prizes, and we have our bingo game going. And if you look in the chat, we have a lot of bingos. So we'll be handing out a lot of prizes tonight. So make sure, put your address in the chat to Stair Calhoun, and she will send you and get you hooked up with our, and if you want a pair for your family, we have the pink grab them by the ballot panties. Who wouldn't want to wear those to vote? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to wear them on the outside of my jeans when I go vote, but that's just me. So anyways, but thank you. And just tell people real quick where you are, like where you go all the way down to Williamsburg almost area.
We do. So we start way up in Prince William County, and then we go down to Mechanicsville. We have parts of the Spotsylvania, big chunk of Hanover. Then we go all the way to the outskirts of Williamsburg, and then up the northern neck into Quantico. So it's a ridiculously gerrymandered district, but that's not going to slow us down or deter us. We're going to keep fighting. So if you're in that area, or if you have family and friends in that area, send them our way.
Yeah, we saw your signs down there. We were down there with our swag car in Williamsburg. So.
Yeah, we check out the giant billboards, and we're on TV. I think you guys have seen our ads. We're really, really proud of our ads, especially our broadband ad. Those are all constituents. They're not actors, they're all constituents, which we're really excited about too.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it. We know you're busy. We'll let you sign off. You probably want to get ready for your next event. Thank you so much, and just really good luck. And next 10 days, we're just going to bring it home. So thank you again.
I left my donation link, and if you want to get involved as a volunteer, send us an email. Much love to all of you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
On to victory.
On to victory. All right. Thank you. All right, so Badass Boutique, my friend Stair Calhoun, please give us a little look in the Badass Boutique to show people what we're talking about, that if you've won, you will get the grab them by the ballot panties. And Mark Keem, I see you're here. Maybe you'd unmute yourself. Do you like our Badass Boutique?
How does it look here from everyone's perspective?
Great.
Have we got it? Okay, so here we've got the wonderful grab your future by the ballot panties, which are actually free, but of course those winners will get theirs in the mail if they put it in. And we've got our pins for our badass Joe and Kamala, and our badass t-shirts, which many of us are sporting today, and we're keeping the family in there, so champ for first dog.
Woo,
thank you all. Support the Badass Boutique. That's what powers our meetings.
Powers our show. Awesome. Well, I don't think we'll be able to do a spin tonight, but we have so many bingo winners. I think we're okay. We don't want to lose Robin again without that power. So on the second part, I know I have a bunch of people, and I want to hand it over to my good friend, Louisa Borowski, who's the leader of the Grassroots Coalition. She's our spokesperson. We have so many great grassroots activists in this call. So Louisa, thank you for being here. And just so you know, part of Barbara Jones told me that Joanna Guzman wants to talk about Loudon too. So if you haven't got that memo. Okay, friend, go ahead, do your thing. I'll mute myself.
I am so excited to see so many great activists in the room tonight. Thank you so much for being here. All I have to say is I'm wearing my 2017 shirt because this is our chance to take it full circle. We started this in 2017 because of what happened in 2016. We have 10 days to go, plus a couple hours tonight where you can phone bank for Nick Betts. Please, 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 we need to put it all out. We got to put it all on the line, all of the energy that we have. So I'm excited to introduce a number of our grassroots groups and their calls to action. We've got groups working in Virginia, but we also have some that are working in North Carolina and in Pennsylvania. Our motto this year is, let's make it happen in Virginia, but we're also paying it forward. I want to note that I just checked our data and we have over 1 million in-person votes early in Virginia. That's fantastic. We just need to keep pushing it. Please make sure that everyone you know is going out to vote and hopefully going out to vote early. So I'm going to start calling on some of our activists who are in the room. I want to start with Herndon Reston Indivisible, who has just been a powerhouse in helping get out the vote. Joanne, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Awesome. Can you tell us what is your top action for us for these next 10 days?
Well, it's to get out the vote. And so all the things that we're working on, we have our last Drive the Vote rally this Sunday, where we go have a pre-planned route, go around and talk to voters, give them information about early voting, et cetera. Of course, we're doing our usual. We have 2 phone banks every week. We have coming up on Monday, 11/2, the night before election night, We have the Elaine Loria texting. We've been doing texting for her every week on Monday, but we actually have her GOTV texting event that we're hosting that Monday, 6:30, right before Election Day. So we're pretty excited about that. We have Overpass, where we put our lighted letters up on overpasses so cars can see them. We have some of those initiatives. And of course, we're going to actually do some canvassing starting this weekend. So if anybody wants to come out and join some of our activities, we're in Herndon, we're in Reston, in that area, Vienna, can just email us and then I'll connect you with any of those activities as opposed to dropping them all in chat. I'll just drop our email address in there.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you can share that email with people. So if you're in that area, they are local and they are making it happen in Northern Virginia. So thank you so much for all of your efforts. All right, I am going to now turn it over to Joanna Guzman, who's going to talk about what we're doing in Loudoun. Joanna, are you still here?
Yes, it's so good to see everyone. I know it's been so long since we've been in person, but I don't know about you guys in this last 10-day stretch. I know it can be running on fumes for so many of us. So being able to be here together in this virtual space is giving me a lot of energy. So just lots of love to everybody. And thank you, Barb, for making sure the NAACP in Loudoun is doing March to the Polls events for we did one last week, but we're doing it every Saturday. You can vote early. So tomorrow we will be starting at the Loudoun Senior Center and marching to the Rich Top Circle poll. And our wonderful Jennifer Wexton will be there, along with a plethora of other exciting speakers. And it's really something you won't want to miss out on. There'll be a lot of press. So if you are voting in Loudoun, this is definitely the best way to vote early and in person. Come and do it with the NAACP. And on October 31st, the following Saturday, we will be doing with the Divine Nine a march to the polls in South Riding. So we're catching all of the different major polling stations in Loudoun. So please help us spread the word, and nothing like marching, actually using your right to vote in solidarity with a wonderful community. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you. And please share that with us in the chat again, because I think you put it before, but put it in one more time. And I just want to say, one of the things that's so important is that we're showing, ourselves, showing that we're out there and we're supporting our voters. There's going to be some intimidation from the other side. We need to be there as that positive reinforcement that says, take that extra 20 minutes to stand in line to get to vote, even if there are other people there that might, be a little bit sketchy, because it might happen. But it is so important that we're out there and we're showing how much voting matters to us and to us as Democrats. So I would like to turn it over to Rose Fabia, who is with Beyond Arlington. Can you share a little bit, Rose, about what you guys have going on in the next 10 days?
Sure. Well, actually, every Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're doing phone banking for Webb, for Loria, and for Spanberger. And I'm doing lit drops on Saturdays, full days. I'll be there at 9 o'clock till 6 o'clock when I get the last packet. So lit drops are going to those voters who have not voted yet, but we know they're there. We're going to look for them. We're going to every rock, but we're going to have as many volunteers as possible. On the last 4 days of the election, before the election, we will be there lit dropping. I will be there lit dropping from 9 to 6, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, election day. So please join me. And the fastest way to find our barn in Fauquier County is look for the Cold War Museum. We're right next door to it.
Fantastic. Please put the details in the chat so people can join you. I can tell that you've been in the sun. You look great. Yeah. You probably have also gotten a lot of steps in. So if you need to be doing a little bit more exercise, please join Rose. My parents have been doing lit drops in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania for the last 2 weeks. This is a great way to get the information out there. And to be honest, they've been thanked by people all the time saying, thank God someone's out there. Again, what it does is it shows community. even if they've already gotten something in the mail, even if they've heard about it, it is really great to see someone out there showing that we are there to support you as voters. So thank you so much for your efforts, Rose.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to turn it over to some of our groups who, I'm going to turn it over to one of our groups in DC, Indivisible Waterfront, to share with us the work that they're doing these last 10 days and share some calls to action. Ellen, are you?
Thank you, Louisa. We don't like to think about the negative, but we have no faith that President Trump will stand by any results, and especially our overwhelming victory, which we expect. So you all remember what happened in Lafayette Park on June 1st, and the National Guard, controlled by Trump, coming out against us with water cannons, with tear gas, and not respecting our constitutional right to protest. We will be there again on November 4th, most likely. And we want to let Major General Walker, who's the head of the DC National Guard, know that we're watching him and we expect every defense of our constitutional rights respected by the National Guard. So we have written a letter to General Walker, and we're circulating this letter. The more letters he gets, the more he'll understand that people are watching. They may be watching us, but what the hell, we are watching them. So if you're interested at all in a copy of our letter, which you're more than welcome to use, I will put my email on the chat, and we would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Ellen. So Ellen and her organization, amongst a lot of other organizations, are part of this effort that we're calling Protect the Results, right? We're hoping we're going to win this, but we are not convinced that even if we do win this, we're going to have, it's going to be protected going forward. So we are working on multiple avenues on that. And this is one of those. So please, if you can send out letters, please do so. Ellen, thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I'm going to turn it over to—
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to
thank
turn
all
over
of you.
to Nope Neighbors, who's going to tell us about some of the actions for Pennsylvania. Terry, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody. Nope has been focusing on North Carolina and Pennsylvania as the targets, trying to flip both of those states. So we're working hard in both of those areas, primarily now after our fundraising is sort of dying down, although we're still happy to take donations, but focusing on phone banking into Pennsylvania and into North Carolina. We have training for people who are a little bit intimidated by the ThruTalk predictive software. We have 2 trainings left, one on Sunday afternoon at 3 and one Thursday night. We're also happy to train anybody in person who's, shy or worried. We just want to see as many people on the phones as possible. I'm going to put in the calendar, the address for our training, and also our calendar, which has lots of phone bank opportunities for those 2 states. We also have a Protect the Vote effort that's going on in Pennsylvania, trying to recruit poll observers and also to staff voter assistance hotlines. So a lot of activity around that. And I think there might be some things that come up on the website about getting people to go into Pennsylvania to start doing the same kind of work that Rose was talking about earlier. So anyway, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, Terry. Please put those links in the chat where people can join for the trainings. And I just want to note that we have a number of groups who have been working both in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. One of the biggest asks they keep telling me for North Carolina is helping with the ballot chase. So we can, we can send in these ballots in the mail, and yet they could have small things that are wrong with them and they're discounted. So far, we've heard that up to 7% of North Carolina ballots are not being counted. And so there are a lot of ways to get involved with that. What I promise to do is to send out all of these actions that are being shared tonight and others that I've received to coalition members. If you are on this Zoom and you are not already a coalition member, please put your email in the chat and I'm happy to add you to our distribution list. Want to make sure all this information is out there. the coalition is really brings together all of these groups so that we can amplify our impact. So we're not just doing this alone. And you've just seen that with some of our great leaders. Just want to see if there's anybody else from the coalition who wanted to share a call to action before I turn it over to Spanberger's campaign. Looks like nothing. Oh, Dennis, I see it.
The voter challenge is still on, as in back of Louisa. We have a new challenge, which is to say what you're voting for. Are you voting for decency, truth? Share that with other people. Try to encourage the people who haven't voted yet, may not be as enthusiastic as some of us. So try to encourage the other voters.
No, that's great, because our voter challenge, it's a hashtag voter challenge VA.
Right.
We tag a few friends, and Dennis has been doing an awesome job on graphics and just keeping us looking good. So thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that. And Louisa, as usual, thank you for bringing it. And I want to give Eileen Davis, mama of Abigail Spanberger, a few minutes to talk about what is going on over there in the 7. All right, are you unmuted, friend?
Working hard for every vote. Abigail's at an event tonight, working hard for every vote. I just wanted to thank everybody. If you listening to all the good work that's going on out there, I've been working with Cameron Webb on the NAACP State Health Committee. We have some fabulous candidates, Qasim. We've got a tremendous coalition in Virginia, and we're really, really, I'm just really inspired. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm really inspired. Abigail's working as hard as everybody else is. We're all, like you said, we're all drilling for every vote. We're all working for every vote. We're doing the contactless lit drop. We're doing the phone banking. If you want to get involved, we're still delivering signs. The requests for signs have been absolutely awesome. We can reelectabigail.com. If you live in the 7th district, this is the time for you to get involved. If if you feel like you want to help out in this district as well as the other districts you might be, I don't want to poach anybody from any other candidate, but if you live in the 7th, we'd love to have you. If you live in Richmond City, we'd love to have you. We're doing mobilizing, we're hitting every day. We're going out every day, and the contactless lit is great. People really, like you said, they respond to it. They know, they understand. If they see you getting back in your car and you wave from afar, they just like to know that you're out there, and we're being real responsible to social distancing and masking, and people are really appreciating that.
Well, Richmond is really close, so I think people would come down that way, but put anything you have, Eileen, in the chat. But just so you know, and everybody on the call knows, we will do a summary of tonight, so don't freak out if you haven't written everything down in the chat, all the bingo. I mean, we had the power go out. We didn't bring it as we wanted to with some of our really fun videos and the music to get you all jazzed up. But like you said, we're jazzing each other up. This is it, man. I mean, we got 10 days to get, Louisa said, full circle, full stop. We're fighting for our lives. This is really fighting for our lives.
And we're phone banking. We can take phone banking from all over. So, phone banking is going on, on behalf of Abigail's campaign and every campaign, phone bank, try it for a couple of hours, pick a campaign and phone bank. I think we're done doing postcards, but we're not done doing phone banking, and we're not done doing lit dropping. We've got the coordinated lit dropping now that's got for every district, where you've got Joe, Kamala, Mark, and then the local congressional. Right. So you can do local lit drop for every candidate. And again, if you live near the 7th, we'd love to have you. If you want a phone bank, we'd love to have you. And if wherever you do live, get involved in a campaign. It's a self-multiplier.
Thank you, Fran. We appreciate everything you've done and you brought to the movement with the ERA and the equality movement.
Vote equality is all over the country. So we've taken our message national, and I really do believe in the power of multiplication.
No, it's true. Lisa Sales, I see her. She's on the call. She's an equality fighter, and I know that she's been really activated all these years. So I'm glad to see her in the room. And Mark Keem is here. And I don't know what Mark's been doing, but if he wants to unmute himself, we'd love to say hi. If not, just glad you're here, Mark. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, hey,
hey, Mark.
Yeah, this is Mark. I'm sorry that I can't be on video. I'm actually in the middle of cooking dinner for a couple of really powerful women in my family. It's Friday night, and I'm the only one that's working not that hard, so they got me cooking, which I'm happy to do. But it is so inspiring to see all of you, to my great friends who are doing an amazing job for us in Washington, and to our new friends who will be in Washington in January fighting for us. Thank you, good luck, and we are behind you. We'll do everything in the next 10 days. Let's go win some damn elections.
All right, Mark, well, you enjoyed dinner. I hope it's good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that, Robin, give us a quick postcard report out, and then maybe do you want to try one video or just dance out to some music?
I think we should dance out to some music, but for the postcards in Virginia, we ended up doing 463,000 postcards to just our candidates, and really almost 85% of our writers were Virginians. So it was Virginians writing to Virginians, and we were identifying our candidates. We weren't, but that isn't all the Virginia writers did. We had the bandwidth to help in North Carolina and did 158,000 postcards to North Carolina. And unlike all the other programs like Swing States and Vote For It, the postcards that come out of Virginia, we name the candidate. So they are for the candidate, so people know. And for Abigail Spanberger, we did 103,000 postcards. Oh my gosh. So postcards were a great hit, but now people are moving on and making phone calls and calling their family. And with that, let's open it up so we can dance out, because we've got this train moving.
We do, it's 8:01. We're glad you all came. So next week we'll see you in the room, but let's just get our love on. Keep the train going.
Don't stop.